Last part we talked about the definition of basis, and we said that there are few equivalent statements. When we say something is a basis of vector space V, we say it is a minimal generating set of V, or we say that maximally linearly independent set of vectors in V, or we say that any vector in vector space V can be expressed uniquely by a particular linear combination of the vectors in basis B, which essentially means like if you take if you take a particular linear combination, then you can generate a particular vector in vector space V. So let us try a few examples on this. So we have a vector space, we have this particular vector space. So all the other operations are same. So vector addition, scalar multiplication, and the set of scalars to be the real numbers. Okay, so just consider whether this particular set is a basis or not. Now we go through by all the three definitions that we have seen above. So let me put them or keep them in the picture. First we will see whether it is a minimal generating set or not. So it is a generating set that we can understand because we have 1 2, so that can generate all the elements, because by the definition it says like x to x, where x is an r. So if you take a scalar value or and multiply it with 1 2, definitely it can generate new all the vectors in new. You can take 2 4 also, that can also generate because it's an element of new only. So it can also generate because instead of taking x, if you want to generate with the help of 2 4, you can take half of x and it will be still generating all those things that has been generated by 1 2. So if 1 2 is able to generate with x, the 2 4 can generate those vectors by taking x to be, or the new scalar x1 to be half of x. Similarly you can think about 3 6 vector. So all of them can generate individually, so the entire set. Okay, right, that's very much correct. Are they linearly independent? So they are not linearly independent, hence they are not uh, maximally linearly independent. So because you have certain elements that if you can remove if you keep them, that it is linearly dependent, and you have to cross them out. So it is not yet linearly set of linearly independent set, right? So we will put them out, we will cross them, so which is not needed, and maybe this could be the set. So this is not a linear independent set, that is why it's not a basis. The first one is it's not a minimal generating set, because you can generate the entire set with the help of any of those. So with the help of this one you can generate. Okay, with the help of this one you can alone generate, with the help of this one you can also generate, with the help of this one you can also generate. So you can generate with any one of them, and it does not actually affect. It's not a minimal generating set, that's why it's not a basis. And if you talk about representing a particular vector uniquely, so what we have to do, we have to take some linear combination of 1 2 2 4 3 6. So alpha times 1 2, beta times 2 4, gamma times 3 6 should generate some vector in V, and this or arbitrary vector in new. So can I generate that? Yes, 1 2 can be generated by taking 1 times 1 2, 0 times 2 4, 0 times 3 6. 1 2 can also be generated by 0 times 1 2, half times 2 4, 0 times 3 6. Similarly, 1 2 can also be generated by 0 times 1 2, 0 times 2 4, and 1/3 times of 3 6. So you don't have a unique representation of a vector or any vector in vector space V. So the third definition, or the sorry, fourth definition, fourth point is also not getting covered. So that's why it is not a basis. So all of them are equivalent. So these three definitions are equivalent. Uh, Whatever you choose, you can say with the help of that. Similarly, you can talk about A2, A3. But if you consider this set, this set, this is an interesting set. This is this is going to follow certain rules. So let us see whether it follows the definition or not. The first thing is whether it is a minimal generating set or not. Okay, with the help of 1 2 you can generate the entire vector space V, no problem. The second thing is it minimal? If I remove 1 2, then can it generate still? No, it cannot generate. Definitely, I know that. uh, is it maximally linearly independent set of vectors? Okay, let us see whether it is the vector 1 2 is an element of new, no problem. If I take one more vector from new into this set A, is it still be linearly independent? So any vector in new is of the form x2 x. So if I put that here in A, definitely that is not going to be linearly independent. So yes, it is maximally linearly independent. And yes, that we can say that the third point is also covered. Now if you go for the fourth point, it says that any vectors in new can be uniquely represented by a linear combination of vectors in A. So if you talk about that, you consider you want to represent, let us suppose, 1 2. So the only linear combination that is required is 1. If you take any other linear combination, any other scalar value, you cannot generate 1 2, and that definition also fits, and hence A can work as a basis. Okay, so we saw that yes, this can work as a basis, and it is still a very important thing to understand that it can work as. So now you see that this B is a basis. You can also notice that this can also work as basis, or this can also work as basis, or this can also work as basis, because all of them are actually following all those three definitions. So if the three definitions are followed, any one of them work as basis. The important thing is to notice is that even if you have a number of different bases possible, the number of elements in every basis is same. So every basis here has only one element, right? So we say that any basis B can span, the entire vector space independently of each other. So B1 can also span V, B2 can also span V, and B3 can also span V. Let us consider another example. Uh, and here you can see that we have a certain A1, a set, and we want to know what is the vector space generated by the span of this. What is the basis of this, the vector space spanned by these vectors? Okay, we know that V1 and V2 are canonical basis of R2, canonical vectors of R2, and they can generate entire R2. You take any linear, some linear combination of these V1 and V2, and will definitely generate any element of R2. So that you can see from here. Now if you agree with that, so definitely other vectors are linearly dependent on v1 and v2. Okay, so v1 can work as basis because v1 and v2 are linearly independent. So b1 can work as basis as these two are linearly independent and can generate all the sets, all the elements of the set. Okay, now just consider, can I say that b2 can also generate this set or not? When I say b2 can generate this set, we'll take the help of the definition number or point number 4 in the definitions, the third definition. Can it generate a particular vector uniquely, or an arbitrary vector in R2 uniquely? So to answer this, we say that okay, if you consider this particular basis, the linear combination of this basis should be able to generate any arbitrary vector xy in R2. So which is the definition of A1. So can it generate that? Now if it is able to generate that, then we'll say that it is a basis because 2, 3 and 4, 5 are linearly independent. I cannot write 4, 5 as a linear combination of 2, 3 or a scalar multiple of 2, 3, and similarly I cannot write 2, 3 as a scalar multiple of 4, 5. Correct. Now if you look at this particular problem, if you want to solve this particular problem, this is nothing but trying to solve a system of linear equations with two variables and two equations. Now if you consider that, it is it has to have a unique solution because the determinant, corresponding determinant, is not coming out to be 0, and it has a unique solution, and the definition point 4 is okay, and hence it should work as a basis, right? So that's what it is here. Now we have got a very unique idea of finding or of knowing whether a particular thing has a basis or not. So find out the determinant, and if it is a determinant, a non-zero determinant, then definitely that can work as a basis. Now let us try to go ahead for a more general way of finding the basis of a span of vectors. Just consider here, we have taken the example from R3, and we have this standard vectors over here corresponding to xyz. Now we know that with the help of these three vectors we can generate any element of R3. So any element of R3 can be generated with the help of this one, right? Okay, this can work as a basis, and we say that okay, a the 0, the element 0 can be generated only with the help of 0 scalars. So 0 times first vector, 0 times first vector, 0 times second vector, 0 times third vector can only generate a 0 vector. There is no other linear combination, so hence they are linearly independent. And any other vector if you put in, because they can be that vector can be generated by some linear combination of these three vectors, so um, they are minimal generating set as well as maximally linearly independent set. And we also know that a unique, so any vector in V, if you take, it can be uniquely represented by the linear combination of this one, and that linear combination, that particular scaling factors combinations are called coordinate of that particular vector. Now consider this example. We want to know what is the span of these vectors, what is the span of these vectors, and the vector space is spanned by these vectors. What is the basis of that? Just to understand that, we come to we want to find out whether these things, these four vectors, are linearly dependent or independent. So we say, if can we make, can we say that they are linearly dependent or independent? So to say that, we have to ask this question: the linear combination of this, can it generate 0 without having all the multipliers, all the scalar values has to be 0, right? So at least one scalar should not be 0. So I want to know that. So we can write this particular problem into matrix equation, all right? So this way I can write. Now this particular matrix is a 3 by 4 matrix. If you apply the Gauss elimination, definitely, because each row and each column has at most one pivot element, so it has 3 rows and 4 columns, so it has at most 3 pivots. So definitely one column will not have a pivot element, and hence it should not work as a basis. It will have a free variable, and that free variable will contribute to infinite number of solutions. And you can also notice that I have designed this particular problem by by actually taking these two vectors like this. So that is why this particular vector and this particular vectors are not going to contribute. If you take the Gauss elimination, you will be not finding any pivot element in these two vectors. So the basis of these the vector space spanned by these four vectors is actually this one. It's actually composed of these two vectors, right? And the number of vectors in the basis is called the dimension of the vector space. So here the vector space generated by these four vectors is uh, the dimension of this vector space spanned by these four vectors is 2, because you have two elements in the basis. Okay, now you should be able to argue why you have number of pivots in a particular matrix to be minimum of m comma n for a matrix of order m cross n. Okay, so let us you can try this particular example as well, and you will find some resemblance with the previous example, because this particular thing, if you take, we have taken it as the transpose of this matrix, transpose of this particular matrix, right? Which will also give you the same results, because when you are going for the Gauss elimination, what you are doing, you are actually taking the linear combination of rows, and you are trying to omit or trying to make a particular row 0. So if the rows which becomes 0, they are the linearly dependent vectors, and the rows which are not 0, they are linearly independent vectors. So so once you get that, uh, you are going to get a basis, and you will definitely find that these two particular rows will become 0 after going through the Gauss elimination. Now we have certain questions. I hope you should be able to answer these three questions, so that's not a big issue. We have already done, or we have already talked a little more about them, so you must be able to answer all these things. Dimension is nothing but the number of linearly independent vectors that we have taken in the basis. Sorry, the number of vectors in the basis is called dimension of a vector space V, right? So let us go ahead with this thing. We have another thing called rank. Rank of a matrix is the number of pivot elements in the matrix. And all these things that we have talked here are actually summarized in these things. So you can just go through these things and you must be able to answer all the things. You must be able to understand all the things. Right. So it is exactly same what we have discussed earlier. Thank you.